this was at a TV interview recently. If we can just have that statement first, and then we will get to hear it from the horse's mouth, quite literally, as they say. So this is what he said. What we must accept is that when I got in, Nairobi was in a hole and never had a strategic or a development plan. Let's listen to just that clip of him saying exactly this, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Nairobi was in a hole, right? And when you get into a hole, what you do is stop digging. And we stopped that. We stopped the digging. Nairobi never had a strategic plan. Nairobi never had a development plan. We now have a new plan, which defines how Nairobi goes.
Okay, so Alphonse, Nairobi never had a development plan, never had a strategy plan. I mean, we'll get into the one he's selling.
Yes.
It's campaign time, so everybody's selling something. Is this, just talk to us about this, and maybe we can take a look at some of those other plans as well.
When we had this statement, like the interviewers, we thought it's just a statement made in passing.
Right.
But then people kept asking for us to check if this is really true.
Right.
So the question we asked first is, where is the evidence that a city that has been there since the 19th century...
The green city in the sun.
Yes, developed like
just
this.
Like that.
Yes, without any plan.
So it just happened, sort of like the Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
We'll get to that. So let's talk about his plan. Because he went on to sell his plan, yes?
Yes.
Because this is it, isn't it?
Yes.
So
the
talk to us about this plan. Yeah,
this is the Nairobi International Urban Integrated Plan. So in short, they call it NEU plan in short.
Right.
So it has things like light rail system. It's why it looks forward to a city where we have dedicated bus lanes, a city where we have modern waste management systems. So all that is in his plan.
In his plan.
Yes.
And his plan is the one that he said existed before any other.
Yes, he said like it's the only plan that the city has ever had.
Okay.
So that's the import of his statement.
Right, but you went ahead and talked to, you know, a couple of people.
Yes.
You know, city planners. And we can take a look at some of those other plans that apparently have existed in Nairobi. We did actually, you found.
Yes.
That there were more plans that existed in this country from as far back?
From as far back as 1906, we actually went to the Kenya Institute of Planners, and we talked to the chairperson, who's Dr. Lawrence Esho, and he's the chairman of the Department of Spatial Planning and Urban Design at the Technical University of Kenya. So it's something he teaches, it's something he knows.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. They have done some studies with the now defunct Ministry of Local Government.
Right.
So we looked at their data too, and we went to the city, the county government itself.
Okay.
So we got some information from them.
Right.
So from the information that we got, this is what he says. There have been plans. The railways plan was by 1906 by railway engineers, and the city then was 25 square kilometers. So in 1927, there was a plan for a settler capital.
Yes.
Yes, and that was, the city expanded to 77 square kilometers. That's where they were saying, they were sort of racially segregating the city, where the whites would stay and where the blacks would stay.
All right.
Then in 1948, we had what we call a master plan for the colonial capital.
Okay.
So for this one, the city expanded to the current boundaries, 695 square kilometers.
All right.
So it's the same when it got to 1973.
Yes.
That is the size of Nairobi, 695 square kilometers.
Okay. So I want us to pause before we even talk about this one.
Yes.
Because to be fair, Governor Kidero in that interview talked about all these other plans. But there's a reason we've saved this one for last, right? So let's listen to what he had to say, because he went on. It was a bit of contradiction, right?
Yes.
So he started off by saying there had never been a plan, and then
he went on to say, mention this in passing, and then acknowledge, say, this one had never been implemented. His will be the first to be implemented.
His will be the first, and he gave a guarantee. So let's listen to him now.
The first plan was done in 1927, next one 1948, the other one 1963 and 73, and all of them never took effect. The one that is now being implemented with the district plans is the one we did recently, which we launched in, we did between 2013 and 2014.
Okay, but so, did he forget to mention this one?
So let's unpack this statement first.
Yeah.
So he says those other plans have never took effect. So we have the 1973 plan, which talked about the ring roads and the bypasses.
Right.
So if the land was paid, you remember in 2003 when the Kibaki came in,
yes,
and he dusted off the plans and he was demolishing houses all over, and those people were making noise, and the government was saying, you guys were paid this money, and the government already acquired this land.
Right.
Yes, from the 1973 plan.
I see.
So that was the plan for that was there.
Right.
So
the
yes. Then in 2010, in 2008 December.
Yes.
Mutula Kilonzo, Raila Odinga, and the president then, they went to the KICC and they launched Nairobi Metro 2030. Now, the reason why analysts and the experts we spoke to say that should not be included in this tally is because the Nairobi Metro was dealing with different counties.
With different counties,
yes.
But that's not to say should it be discounted then on that basis?
The experts asked us that it would be unfair to include it because it covers a larger area, not Nairobi alone.
All right.
But most of the things in the 2014 Nairobi Integrated Urban Development Master Plan,
which is Kidero's
plan, are in fact included in the Nairobi Metro 2030.
I see.
And it's sort of an update to the 1973 plan.
Okay. So he can't be talking about there was no plan before when his plan is an update of one that was there in 1973.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the point. He can't say there had never been a plan.
Okay.
He cannot say, and just to sum this up, he cannot say that the other plans have never been implemented. Like this, his is the first, because evidence that we have seen and from the researches that have been done by Kenyan architects and Kenyan urban planners, filed with international research institutions like the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, which does these things, research on urban planning, shows that all the other plans were implemented in part. They were not fully implemented because they would require a lot of capital outlays, but they were.
But it's not that they were never implemented.
He can't say never.
Okay, so let's give a verdict then. Shundu, let's go into that. So this is, of course, what you were talking about, that this was commissioned in 2011, that Metropolitan Area Spatial Development. But I'd like us to quickly move to the verdict. So that statement that was made by Evans Kidero, that there had never been a plan until he came into office, a development plan?
That statement is incorrect.
Great.
And we could add that there is no guarantee that his plan would be fully implemented unlike the others. So we're just putting things into context. Yes.
Great. All right, so that's the fact check for tonight. Please do make sure you continue to tweet us. And of course, this will be available on Africa Check. I think it's already available, so you can go there for more information at Africa Check, at Shundu, at Yvonne Okwara.
www.africacheck.org.
There you go. And please use the hashtag FactCheck for anything that you want us to check out. And this could be by any politician. Remember, it is a time when they're selling their wares at the market. We want to be sure that the products they're selling us do what they actually say.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes,
Alphonse Shundu, Kenya editor for Africa Check. Thanks for joining us, as you do every Sunday. You're watching Checkpoint. We're taking a